What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to World of Warships, where today we're going to be taking a look at a match that I had earlier this evening on Sunday night in the Tier 6 Soviet cruiser, the Budyonny. I hope I'm saying that right. We are on the map Neighbors, and this wasn't actually going to be the video I'd planned to show you guys today. I had an Otago video that I was going to use, but after having this match I thought, you know what, this is better than the Otago match, so I'll quickly do the commentary and render it before I have to go to bed in order to get up for work in the morning. But anyways, we're moving in on the sea area, and we've just, oh no, in Atlanta. Now I do apologize for some stuttering and that. My internet was misbehaving a little bit. Anyway, we see the Atlanta, so we immediately start to turn away. We don't really want to play with an Atlanta at this kind of range. Not with his machine guns for main armament. I got a Mahan over there, still firing high explosive, got that loaded. Haven't really had the best opportunities to use armor piercing yet, although I suppose we could have done it on the Atlanta maybe. But then we would have missed out on that lovely chance to do damage on the Mahan. So we're going to start taking some shots at the Murmansk and the Omaha, who look like they're about to try and make a baby. And that probably would have been a good shot with armor piercing, but I didn't have it loaded. I was busy switching over when I took when I fired that shot. And now the armor piercing's going in, and obviously we miss with that. Pensacola coming in, 14 kilometers, so we're going to open fire on him. I also do apologize if I'm sounding a little bit stuffy. It's got a bit of a blocked nose today for some reason, so I do apologize. I hope it doesn't impede your enjoyment of this video. But anyway, so we're heading behind the islands, mainly because of that Pensacola. I only unlocked the Budyonny tonight. This was my maybe third match or so I'm still getting used to the guns. It's not fully upgraded yet. In fact, this match was the one that allowed me to fully upgrade it. I have the fire control, I believe, so I've got the 16.6 kilometer, and we get a nice Citadel, 3,500 damage, but he starts to turn as we fire that shot. So these are probably going to land a bit short. And indeed they do. If we had aimed a little bit higher, or if he hadn't turned, probably would have gotten some nice Citadel damage there. More armor piercing on the way, and only one hit for minor damage. But we're going to switch over to the other Omaha and fire a full salvo at him. But yeah, so as I said, not the upgraded hull yet. All we have is the improved fire control to give us the 16.6 kilometer firing range. And I must say, I'm really enjoying the ship. Someone said in the comments on one of my videos that on that Molotov video that this is kind of like a Cleveland just with better guns and slightly less of them. But I have to agree, I've really been enjoying this, and this is a pretty good game, especially the end. So stick around for that, because it's really quite amusing, at least in my opinion. But anyways, our team has all come this way. Not entirely sure. Got it reversing Atlanta, so we're going to take a shot. I started on this side, so it only made sense that I come here, but everyone else seems to have gravitated this way. And kind of left A and B undefended and uncontested, so we're just going to continue firing at this Omaha. But I have to say, I've had the worst World of Warships luck this weekend, because I had a lot of time to play last night on Saturday. And I think it took me 9 or 10 games before I managed to get my first win, and it was always, you know, they weren't even close defeats. You know, if it's a close defeat, it can still be fun, but when they're whitewashes and you can't do anything, it's just really frustrating. Just teams always lemming training, and I was playing battleships, and you know, as powerful as battleships are, they need support. So if your entire team is going one way, you've got to go that way. And every single time, if I'd gone the way I wanted to, the way I thought I should have, I would have died even earlier, because I would have been the only ship on that flank, and there were always a battleship or two and some cruisers and some destroyers coming down on that flank. So it was a horrible night, and I was getting really, really frustrated just trying to get a game. And a wild Mahan appears on our port side at 7 kilometers. We get a Citadel on whoever we were shooting at. It was at Omaha, so we're going to fire off some armor piercing. I should have switched immediately to high explosive. I don't know why I didn't, but now I'm going to do it. And unfortunately, that's going to now slow down our next salvo. But 8-second reload on these guns, not bad at all. So it's not going to hurt too much. And as you can see, I'm still learning these guns and still trying to learn how to play the game again after my long absence. But this should be the kill shot. And there we go, goodbye Mahan, and that is our first kill of the match. So now we're going to start turning to engage this Omaha, and luckily some of our front guns actually managed to sneak around this island, and we're managing to get some hits on him, and we set him on fire, so that's very nice. Who do we have around us? No one. We've kind of pushed quite forward by ourselves, and that's something I actually found works quite well when you kind of be aggressive with this ship. And we fire on this beautiful broadside Omaha, switch over to armor piercing, and as we do that he starts to turn away and denies us that juicy broadside. So we're going to still try and use the armor piercing, see if we can do anything, because the Omaha isn't very well armored. And we do manage some damage, but not the best. You can see he's firing high explosive, and you can see how just terrible at like this angle. I just don't remember how to shoot at ships like this anymore. So we're switching back to the high explosive, and we manage a few hits for some minor damage, and we're just going to be chasing this guy until he's dead. And there's not a whole lot more to say about this particular engagement. No mad skill or mad tactical decisions. We're just going to point the nose of our ship towards the Omaha and try and get rid of him as soon as possible. We have to set him on fire again, and hopefully this one sticks, because I think we had set him on fire earlier and he used his damage control team, and yes, it does appear that he is still burning, and that's good. So let's see if maybe we can get another fire and speed up the rate of his demise. The more hits, more damage, and I'm just hoping, like, please, come on, someone make him turn, or just turn, you know, do something silly, turn, give me that broadside, because I want those citadels, because these, even though they're not 8-inch guns, they're still, you know, 6-inch 152mm guns. They do seem to pack quite a bit of penetration when you have a lovely broadside target. And unfortunately it looks like the fire has gone out, but let's see if we can try and do something about that and set another one. And then now he's turning. Unfortunately we're going to have to switch over to AP, and that's going to delay us by 6 seconds, and he immediately starts turning again. So we switch back. Not the greatest selection of ammo in history, and he's now firing armor piercing at us, which is interesting considering we're about onto him and quite angled and that sort of thing. Shots go a little bit high, only managed 2 hits for minor damage, and we're just keeping an eye out on what's on our left hand side, or sorry, our right hand side. And I mean, you can see we're kind of even on ships, but the enemy has a points lead right now. The New York is starting to fire on my position, but thankfully he misses. And yeah, I mean, I've been playing so many battleships at the moment, and there we go, good damage and another fire. But I've been playing so many battleships that switching back to cruisers now has been quite interesting, because I make quite a few silly mistakes, don't change course sometimes as often as I should, and I've been running into quite a few teammates, but that's not my fault, that's their fault. They should watch where they're going. But anyway, starting to put some shells downrange onto this New York. He's firing again. We're just gonna stop turning a bit, and we managed to dodge all his shells like a boss. Get some hits, nothing too serious, but now we're going to start moving in towards the B zone, and we're going to see if we can kind of get behind this little island, and hopefully it protects us. It's not going to go quite according to plan, which you will see, but I mean, it's better than sitting in open water, so that's the best we've got, and we need to take this point away from the enemy. They're a little bit ahead, not too much, but they do have the 2 capture points, and that's going to mean they are going to continue building that lead. We're going to take some shots at the Nuremberg, and we're going to switch over to armor piercing to see if we can get lucky. Shots going in, and decent lead, and we set him on fire, so we're going to fire again, and hope maybe we can get a citadel. We've only got 2 so far. Come on, we can do better. Are these going to give us another citadel? Unfortunately not. Don't quite give him enough lead, and I think he was also turning a bit, so that threw off the shells. Unfortunately, Stalin was not guiding those shells in for us. Quite unfortunate. But anyways, back onto the New York, and as you can see, I'm trying to get close to this island to perhaps where he won't be able to fire on my position, but I can still fire over his, onto his, sorry. Obviously the arc on these guns is not quite as high as you'd find in like a Cleveland or something, which could be a problem. And now we got another Omaha on quite low health. So, got another fire on the New York. I'm going to switch targets to the Omaha because he's going to keep resetting us. And we're just coming to a complete stop now, and hoping that our sneaky tactic is going to pay off and the New York is not going to be able to fire at us. We started reversing a little bit, so we go back to quarter, all ahead of quarter to just bring us back to a stop. And hopefully we'll be getting this Omaha soon. Bad aiming on that that salvo. Take heavy damage there apparently. Not sure who fired those offending shots, but those are looking good, and there we go, we managed to get the kill. New York is looking at us. So we start moving forward at full speed because incoming shells. We're trying to get towards the island. We get set on fire by something, and we get the kill. And this Königsberg, yeah.
Problem solved, sir.
What can you do? I start slowing down and turning to try and not do anything. Now I'm trying to speed up again, and unfortunately we are going to touch a little bit. So I immediately say sorry. But, you know, I kind of did have to try and get out of the path of those incoming shells, and I can't type there, as you can see. Type the word twice, but now I'm going to explain myself to him. I'm just going to say trying to get away from the incoming battleship fire. But, you know, no harm, no foul. He didn't get stuck on anything, and only minor damage to each other from a little friendly paint swap. But anyways, now 3 cruisers remain on the enemy team. We've got 4 kills, 3 ships remaining. We've only got 2 citadels so far, but we've done just under 60,000 damage. So not bad already, not fantastic, but I'd say 60k in a tier 6 cruisers, not bad. Although, as I say, it has been a long time since I seriously played my Cleveland or Aoba. Haven't got the tier 6 German cruisers yet, so I don't know. But anyways, we can only assume that the enemy fleet is going to head towards C, all 3 of them together. And we can already see one spotted behind the island in B, what's that, B4, and there he is. We might have had a shot, I don't know what, I think I was maybe checking my phone, I don't know, but he's firing at someone. And the other one's just been spotted, and we know the Pensacola's there as well, so it's 2 Nurembergs and the Pensacola, so we're going to fire. We've still got high explosive selected, but we're going to load up armor piercing on the next salvo. Again, you can just see my lead is not quite enough. As I said, still trying to get used to these guns. They do take a lot less time to get to target than the likes of the Cleveland's guns, but when you've been playing battleships a whole lot of times, it's yeah, got to kind of adjust back to Pensacola and Nuremberg. I'm going to try and make a ship baby to help their odds, because it's 3 against a lot more than 3. That kind of was on point, I thought, that shot, but dispersion wasn't on my side, and nowhere near enough lead, and you can see the lag. I mean, my shells on my screen were still in the air when I got the hit ribbons, but these shots are looking good, and 2 citadels, and we get Kraken and Battle Hero, and we finish him off. So on to the Pensacola now. Now the Pensacola is a lovely ship to fire at when they broadside, because they're so easy to citadel, although I wasn't sure if these guns would be able to do it, but my very first salvo managed to do it, and yeah, so Pensacola citadeled, no problem, but I do have to obviously worry about his guns because they're very powerful. Kind of all in the citadel area, maybe a little bit high, but no citadel on that salvo. We turn a little bit to get our rear guns on target. There's another citadel. Front guns are ready, we're going to fire those off. Turning back in, I don't want to get too much damage done. 3 citadels, 8,000 damage, we finish them off. And now all that remains is this Nuremberg, 4,500 hit points, firing off the front 2 guns. And do we get it? They're looking good. Another citadel, 4,400 damage done. And we get the final kill. So I really enjoyed that match, especially the end as we just sort of waltzed through the enemy team and finished off the last 3 ships on our own. So as you can see, 410,000 credits, 5,000 experience, Battle Hero and Kraken, as I said, 95,000 damage, 144 target hits, 6 incapacitations, 7 kills, 9 fires, 10 citadels, and assisted in a base capture once. and we completed the Let's Do This mission. As for the team score, we came first place on the team with a base XP of 2,237. Aoba was in second place on our team with 1,575. On the enemy team was a Shores in first with 964, and an Omaha in second with 827. And then finally, onto the detailed result. 87,000 damage was done by our main battery, of which 35,000 was from high explosive shells, 52,000 from armor piercing, and we got ourselves another 8,000 from fires. So yeah, not a bad match at all. 21,000 damage to an Omaha, 19 to a Pensacola, 15 to a Nuremberg. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this ship, and I'm actually looking forward to finishing off the grind to the shores, because I think, judging by the fact that most of the Soviet cruisers seem to have the faster firing guns, I think I'm going to really enjoy them. But that about covers everything for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, Armored Warfare, and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.